Welcome back to Vinyl Decal School. Thanks for joining me. I'm so grateful that you're watching my videos and I really appreciate all the likes I get. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. So wall decals are a great idea. They're perfect if you are renting or if you want to be changing the layout or the design of your rooms in your home all the time. And they're a way to make things just stand out and be a bit more personalised, I guess. I have these ones on my office wall that I put up to complement my gallery wall. And here is the application video if you want to watch that. Although I did use permanent vinyl for those because that's all I had at the time. And I thought when I'm taking those down, it'll probably be a time when I'm going to redecorate and paint the wall anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But if you're putting it on top of wallpaper or, as I said, you're renting and it needs to be able to peel off easier, it is a good idea to get semi-permanent vinyl. I just actually got some, which I think I might do something in my pantry with it, so I was going to try it out. This is Oracle 638, which is specifically Oracle wall art vinyl. So maybe I'll do that in a future video if I get around to creating something that I like. But in this video I'm going to go through multiple ways you can take pictures if you want to sell wall decals. So this video was a request from Kirsty in my Facebook group. Thanks again, Kirsty. And I had to really think about it because I've never actually sold wall decals before. Although it is something I'd quite like to do in future. So actually it was a really good exercise for me to do to give myself some inspiration. I have done another mock-up video in the past, so I also didn't want it to be too close to that one, and hopefully it won't be. So there are loads of different ways you can do this, but I've come up with 3 different ways you can source photos and then also 3 different places you can edit them. So please stick around to hear them all because you can mix and match or try all 3. Or start with the easiest and cheapest and then kind of work your way up from there. So the first type of photo is a commercially licensed stock photo, and you can use this to add your design over the top and make it fit your needs. So I always tend to go to Unsplash for mine, and you can use these pictures yourself for free for commercial purposes as long as you're not actually selling the photo in anything you do. Here is the license at the time of filming. If you're using one from elsewhere, just do make sure you've got a commercial license. Don't just go to Google Images and take one off there because it might be copyrighted and you might end up in trouble for doing that. And if you can, it is quite polite to attribute the original photographer to the photo somewhere in your listing, even if it's right at the bottom, just as a thank you for using their picture for free. So go on unsplash.com, type in the type of room you would like. So I'm just going to use baby's nursery as an example. There's not many with wall space behind it, but I'm going to go for this one because there's a bit of a blank space at the back. So you just download it free there, and then it'll bring up a thing where you can copy the photographer. So if that's not quite working for you, the next option is to go to somewhere like Creative Market or Design Bundles and look for mock-ups on there. These ones are specifically designed for adding your design over the top, so they are a lot better than using stock photos, and there should be a lot more space on them to show off your designs. So on Creative Market, I'm just again going to look for nursery mock-up. And on here there's a lot of bundles which give you multiple pictures, and they are more expensive, but it's quite nice to have the same sort of style and colours in your rooms so that you've got a more cohesive kind of look for your backgrounds. And it means you can do lots of different designs and not have them all look the same. So yeah, it'll give you a little demonstration of how it works, and there's some canvases and frames if you want to add in those too. And then on Design Bundles, they have a lot more singular mock-ups, so they're a lot cheaper and they're better if you just kind of want to buy one at a time. Again, it'll give you the example what it is. Do check their free resources because sometimes they have mock-ups in there too, which is always nice. Just be aware that if you don't have Photoshop, you need to be buying a mock-up that includes a JPEG file and not just a PSD file. Then your third option is, of course, to take your own photo of your own wall, either with or without a decal already applied. This is how I do the majority of my mock-ups, as I go into more detail in this video. But for walls it is a bit trickier, as you ideally need like a clear wall with some interesting furniture and like props in the background. And not all of us have Pinterest worthy houses. I know I don't. So I went around the house looking for a few different places I could take photos for this. And luckily for me, because we're in a new build house, the majority of the walls are still white because I'm still deciding what colours I want them to be. So I had quite a blank canvas, but I did have to find somewhere where there wasn't too much in the background and where there was decent enough light. Although today it is snowing, so it is a bit grey and dull. So it's not the perfect time to be taking photos, but still. This is the one I managed to get. I just moved a load of stuff out of the way, dressed the two cupboards with some dried flowers I already had in the house, and then some glasses on the other side, and then just took it as straight as I could with as much of the wall space in as I could as well. You need to just try and get it as light and bright as possible, but with minimal shadow. It's not always that easy. If it's really dull outside, it can be a bit too dark, but if it's really bright outside, that gives you like really harsh shadows. I'm sure you can find like some photography videos on here that give you some better tips for taking photos and what time of day is best and stuff like that. But I just had to do what I could with the weather we've got at the minute and the lighting I had in our house. It is much better to try and take it with natural light if you can, or like a light with a natural light filter on it, just because artificial lights tend to give it shadows and make it look kind of orangey. So there you go, there are 3 different options for finding your base photo that you're going to add your design on top of in order to show it off to potential customers. And so here are 3 ways you can add your designs to those photos. If you don't have any design software other than Design Space or Silhouette Studio, don't worry too much for now. You can open one of those up. I'll just go ahead and open Design Space and then upload your photo into it. So I've added it as a complex image, and then I'm going to save as a print and cut image and upload it into a new project. I'm just going to make it a bit smaller so that it's easier to see, and then it's literally as easy as just uploading whatever design you want for your wall decal into the picture, adding it on top, putting it where you want it to go, and then as far as I'm aware, there's no way you can save that as a picture, so I am just going to screenshot it so that I have a picture from the screenshot. It's not the best quality, so it's not ideal for Etsy because that needs to be at least 2000 pixels. But if you want it as a secondary image, or you're just going to use it for something not as high quality, then it should be fine. So if you want a better quality version of that photo, but all you really need to change is the lighting of your original photo, you don't need to do any major edits, then you can use Canva for free to do this. You can also use Canva on your phone or your tablet if you're using those rather than a laptop or computer as well. So if you go on canva.com, and then there's an option to edit photo where you can just upload your photo straight in there. I'm just using a mock-up that I already had and a design that I've got for sale on my Etsy shop. So again, you can just move it around, put it where you want it to go, resize it. Then if you want to edit the original photo, you click on it and adjust. Then you can change the brightness, contrast, saturation till you get it where you're happy with it. Once you're happy, download, and download as a PNG. That's the highest quality. I think you can do a JPEG as well though. and that will come out a lot higher quality. So if you look at the pixels on there somewhere, it is 4500 by 3200, so a lot better quality. And you zoom in, you can see that as well. But if you need to take anything out of the original photo or edit it a lot more dramatically so that it looks a lot better, or you want to manipulate your design in some way so that it like is at an angle or fits the space better, then you probably do need to get either Photoshop or PicMonkey, which you can get a free trial for. I'll link that in the description. Or if you're on a tablet, you could also use Procreate for this purpose. I mostly use Photoshop though, so I'm going to open my picture in there. So first thing I do is duplicate it so that if it goes wrong, I've got a backup, it's fine. So I usually use curves first. I don't know what it does, but it makes it look better. And I bring up the brightness and the contrast as well, just to make it look a bit sharper. And then I'm going to bring the saturation up a bit just to make that green and yellow pop, make it a bit more interesting. Then I'm going to drag this design that I've got on my Etsy shop as well in here. And I'm going to change the colour in colour overlay to like a less black, like a muted grey, so it looks kind of more realistic. And then if you want to move it on like an angle, if your wall isn't completely straight, you press the command button and then you move the edges like that, and you can kind of put it on an angle. Obviously mine doesn't need to do that. And if you've got loads of objects on the wall and you need to kind of make it look as if the decal's behind them, what I usually do is I use a lasso tool to go around the object to select anything that is in front of the design. This is going to look really bad because it isn't like a blocky object. Just bear that in mind maybe when you're taking your photo. Go and click back on your design, make sure it is rasterized, and then you'll be able to cut that section out of your design. As I said, doesn't look, it's not great. If I had more time, I could do it a lot neater, but just so you get the idea. Then also think about if you're doing like shapes and lots of little decals, putting them like off the page so it looks a bit more realistic. Then there's also a way you can make the texture of the wall come through, but there wasn't really any texture, so I didn't do it on this occasion. Once you're done, you can save as a PNG or a JPEG again. I usually do JPEG for Etsy pictures. And there you go, there are multiple ways you can create photos for wall decals in order to sell them. Let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas, and please subscribe for more videos like this one in future.